one must learn how to fly at night.
IAS 3 Foxtrot, we're starting right hand downwind for runway 19, and if it's possible it will be for touch and go. Idle.
From zero to hero. Discover the complete process to become a professional pilot with the European Aviation School of Barcelona, an exciting path led by experts in each subject, instructors, active pilots, and students. From zero to ATPL license, we will reveal all the mysteries and answer all the questions. We will fly, learn, and enjoy the adventure.
In my case, my flight, it was a super laminar flow. It was calm. Yeah, everything was calm. And the sensation is like you are in a room without sounds. Even if you are listening the engine, it's like, wow, everything is calm.
My first night flight here was not very special because I didn't choose the correct school. Because I did it modular, so I did every part in a different place and I wanted to be the cheapest possible way. But on the end was not the best experience because they rushed a bit too much. So I didn't experience it in fullest. But when I went to the States, I went flying for the first time in the night and it was crazy, it was magical. Because it's super silent. If you turn off all the lights, you just see like all the stars. It's really amazing feeling. And the thing that I did was that I waited until the fireworks over Disneyland, and I went over there to see the lights of the fireworks from the sky. So I was crying.
I did my VFR night at EAS, of course, and it was an amazing experience. For a few factors. First, because it was super quick, just 2 days. And I remember the actual adventure of taking off from Sabadell is very interesting because you take off when the airport is closing, right? So you take off, it's sunset, the airport closes down, so you can't go back to Sabadell, and then you go to Girona. You stay there in a hotel. It's an adventure, more than a course. For me, it was like a small little trip out.
La verdad es que da bastante impresión porque es totalmente diferente a lo que estás acostumbrado y de repente es todo como un agujero negro y solo ves luces y la manera de orientarte es totalmente diferente.
Pues yo lo recuerdo como el mejor vuelo que he tenido, la verdad. La sensación, el ir con otra persona en medio tándem, no sé, fue súper divertido el dormir allí con los compañeros, los instructores, fue una pasada, la verdad.
When I talk to the students, to the guys that are boys and girls that do it in the course, I tell them that probably it will be the first and last time that they fly night VFR on a single engine piston. And the reason being because we don't have to think that it is dangerous, but it is a bit risky. We only have one engine, we are flying at night, and basically during the day we have an engine failure, we just put the aircraft in a field somewhere, in a road, whatever. But during the night we don't see those fields and those roads, and if we see these fields and these roads, it's because they are illuminated with something where we can crash on. A lamppost, a car, whatever.
The purpose of the VFR night nowadays is to achieve that the pilot get used to flight with different reference because you don't have sun because it's night. So you need to get used to the different shape of the cities that you are get used. Maybe you have passed thousands of times over that city and at night it's completely different. So, and as well, the touch and goes are super different during the day or during the night due to the reference because you need to pay attention about the lights that you have on the runway. And during the day, it's VFR reference. So it's your point of view.
When we were in Girona, unfortunately we didn't have the center lights of the runway, so it was a bit challenging to land, but at the end when I did it and I was flying solo at night, honestly, it was one of the best feelings.
I wouldn't say I was worried, but I would say I had a lot of respect of what night flying would be like. You know, would I see a lot? Would I see nothing? What would be my optical illusions? I talked a lot about optical illusions and things like that. So I really had a lot of questions, and they were all answered when, you know, the night fell. You know, and you see really a lot. You see very well, especially if it's a full moon night. Then it's beautiful to see all these roads with all the little cars, and you again, you feel very small up there.
Ryanair 1, flight decimal term 119105. 105, thank you.
Up until now, we have flown during the day, in daylight, and in visual flight rules. That is, in reference with the terrain below us. That can be rivers, mountains, lakes, the coastline, or any other thing you see with your eyes. You learn this during your PPLA training, and that's what you've seen in the series of episode 4. In order to obtain your commercial pilot license, CPLA, one must learn how to fly at night. This may seem like a very easy process, but in fact, it's quite complex, and depending on the methodology, it can even be dangerous. In order to do this safely, we must undertake a course which is the VFRN, or Visual Night Flight Course. In this video, we will explain everything about this course. As you may know, it is part of the official syllabus to obtain our desired ATPL. Today, it is my turn to experience the night flying, and we will do it in this beautiful aircraft. This is a Tecnam P2002JF, which is also called SIRA, and it's one of the many SIRAs that EAS has here in their hangar in Sabadell. We will see how all the visual references that are during the day are lost, and how difficult it is to distinguish mountains or other geographical references, as well as different elements that serve as orientation. Also, other factors like estimating speed and height become even more difficult. Taking into account everything that we've said, we do have flight aid systems that help us throughout the course, and this aircraft has very interesting characteristics that also help us with the ease of this course, flying during night. Now we are going to meet our flight instructor, Pau, who is going to take us to our classroom. He's going to give us our theory class, we're going to do the briefing, and we're going to start with this fun and learning process. During the day, airport taxiways, runways and signage can be easily seen and distinguished. But at night, things change. Each of the different airport lights has a meaning, so for a night visual flight, it is very important for pilots to be aware of all of them. In addition, the lights that illuminate the runway for night visual flights are directional. That is, they are only visible from the aircraft when it is aligned with the runway. Interesting, right? In our case, we do the VFR night from Lima Echo Lima Lima, Sabadell Airport, and that's not a 24-hour airport. That in itself is not a problem for the course. Moreover, it gives it an extra touch of adventure. We take off from the airport just before its official closing at sunset, and we say goodbye to the day in flight, as the sun sets. Once it is night, we discover several other nearby airports and we carry out the complete course in several of them. During night flight, pilots can experience various optical illusions that can affect their perception of altitude, speed, and spatial orientation. These illusions can lead to errors, bad judgment, and bad decision-making if not recognized and managed properly. Below, I will describe some of the most common optical illusions that affect pilots during night flight. The shadow illusion. Due to a lack of light and contrast at night, shadows can appear distorted or exaggerated, which can make objects appear much larger or closer than they actually are. This can lead to a misperception of distance and make it difficult to assess altitude and speed. Autokinesis. The autokinesis refers to the appearance movement of a stationary object in the dark. When a pilot focuses on a navigation light, a boat or a star for a long time, he can perceive that the object is moving. This can lead to unnecessary course corrections or incorrect flight attitudes. Downslope illusion. In low visibility conditions at night, such as during an airport approach or during flights in mountainous areas, the lack of adequate visual references can cause pilots to perceive a steeper downslope than they are actually flying. This can lead to an approach that is too steep or an inappropriate altitude. Another very interesting one is the black hole. This is frequent in approaches to tracks where the previous terrain is not illuminated. There is a false feeling that you're staying at a high approach when you are really doing a lower approach. This one actually happened to me when we were landing at Girona Airport, Lima Echo Golf Echo. False horizon. A confusion is created between the nose of the aircraft and the true horizon, giving rise to false sensation of turning. Flicker vertigo, caused by the strobe lights of the plane. This effect is especially annoying when entering in a cloud. And then we have translation. It is the consequence of perceiving the movement of one's own aircraft with respect to another that flies nearby, or even with the terrain. It usually occurs in flights over water or over cultivated fields. The sensation is a false illusion of movement when looking at a fixed point. It is important that pilots are familiar with these optical illusions and are trained to recognize and counter them. Experience, proper training and the use of available instruments and navigation aids are essential to ensure safety during night vision flying. Of course, to enjoy the VFR night, you need to do a very good briefing and you need to have everything really clear. In fact, at the school, they have already told me to prepare myself, since all the briefings from now on are going to be very extensive and very professional. Nothing to do with what I was used to doing flying in recent years. Now that we have completed the theoretical part and we are just a few minutes away from taking off, let's see and learn about this briefing and let's go flying.
Anything remarkable that you may want to comment?
No, nothing remarkable. All airports open and there's no note that is important to
Perfect.
stand out.
Girona finished with the construction works on the runway because for a long time we couldn't go at night because of that, because they used to close the runway at night for roadworks. But it's finished now, so it's fantastic, yeah? And on our alternates as well.
Yeah.
So everything looks fantastic.
Okay, so what's the next step after the documentation?
Next step would be to perform the pre-flight.
Okay.
Let's do it.
Let's go.
Let's go. Right, Oscar, so this is our aircraft today.
Okay.
I guess you are familiar with it. This is a Tecnam P2002 Juliet Foxtrot, the certified version of the Tecnam Sierra.
Yeah.
It's a low wing two-seat aircraft, conventional controls and Rotax engine. Yeah.
Okay.
This aircraft certifies to do all the VFR day and night training because it has everything it needs to in order to perform the night.
Yes.
So this is the VFR night equipment. So we have instrument light, dome light, torch, annunciator panel, and this equipment has to be working. Yeah.
Okay.
Landing light, pitot heating, and alternate static port.
So all of these need to be operative in order to fly this aircraft on a VFR night.
Exactly.
The cockpit preliminary check is complete, external walk around.
Let's do it. We start from here, from where we finished the cockpit preliminary check.
Yeah.
So we can open the cowling and put the stop here. We can check the oil level, remove the oil cap. Let's see, it's within limits, but it's a bit low, so we're gonna add a bit of oil.
Okay.
So we have to turn the propeller.
Okay.
Buenas Aires 3 Foxtrot. No traffic reported over the coastline. The QNH is 1027.
Crazy how you see all the lights flashing. These are the moments that really get into your mind. The feeling when flying at night is unmatched, especially the first time. Seeing the lights appear from the smallest houses to the largest urban centers, experiencing a sunset and a flight along the coast as night falls is truly magical, and the perfect start to this flight phase of the series. Once we finish the routing, we fly directly to Lima Echo Golf Echo, Girona, where we're going to take several touch and goes, first with an instructor and then solo. We leave you here with some images about it. Girona, AES 3 Foxtrot, we're starting right hand downwind for runway 19, and if it's possible it will be for a touch and go, and then the second one full stop, left hand circuit pattern. Okay, there we are. So, final checks. Fuel pump is on, carburetor heat off. Gonna flap takeoff and landing light on. Yes, sir. And we are clear to land runway 19 now. Clear for touch and go runway 19 and then left hand circuit for AES Foxtrot. Okay, glide slope. A bit of engine here. Idle.
Nice.
Okay.
Takeoff power set.
Takeoff power. Yeah.
Line up and wait, runway 19, Havana School, 78 Sierra.
Beautiful. I think I prefer night flying. So first, windy touch and go at night.
Yeah.
And 800 feet, so landing light off. Final runway 19, still a bit high, so we're gonna go down a slight bit and also quite fast.
I'm gonna stop the ALS here very quick for you, just if you want to use it as reference.
Okay.
Wind 200 degrees, 13 knots.
Idle.
Flaps up. And we have the marshaller waiting for us. Super.
AES 3 Foxtrot, vacate first to your left.
First to the left, following the marshaller to Golf 1, AES 3 Foxtrot. Have a nice night. Okay, sounds good. So before starting, radio and avionics are on, avionics instruments all on. Altimeter set 1008. Okay, so now we are AES 5 Hotel Sierra. Let's go. Brakes correct. Taking off from runway 19 at Girona Echo 2, night flight, VFR. We have enough visibility in order to go, and we have good weather. Good. Everything is on the green. Girona AES 5 Hotel Sierra on holding short runway Echo 2, runway 19, ready for departure.
AES 5 Hotel Sierra, Roger, wind calm, runway 19 cleared for takeoff.
Okay, let's go! Rolling takeoff. It's gonna be a beautiful night. Once the aircraft has taken off, calculating 2 minutes for wake turbulence. AES 5 Hotel Sierra, turning left base, runway 19.
AES 5 Hotel Sierra, Roger, runway 19 cleared for touch and go, wind 030 degrees 3 knots.
We're gonna land with flaps 1. Power set for takeoff, speed alive. Brakes. .300 feet, landing light off. Speed check, flaps up. Girona AES 5 Hotel Sierra, turning left base, runway 19, full stop.
AES 5 Hotel Sierra, Roger, runway 19 clear to land, wind calm.
Golf 1 following the follow car,
Muchas gracias, que tengáis buena noche.
The final touch to this VFR night experience is the dinner and the post-briefing after arriving in Girona with the instructor. As we are not able to return to base in Sabadell until the next day, the experience includes a hotel night and a dinner near the Girona airport, which all makes an even more fun experience. Next morning, you leave early in the morning back to base on a positioning flight.